Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is the TransFusion Podcast, and I have my girl sorry, Miko is in the building with me tonight. Hey girl,
Now, what's going on, honey? What's the deal?
nothing. Sorry, I was running late today, y'all. It's my fault. The show is late. It is my fault. I had to go get my new Buckaroos, and I can barely talk. I'm trying to learn how to talk again with them, so bear with me, y'all.
Understand.
Um, how's your day going?
My day is fine, and I hope everybody out there listening is having a wonderful night too. As tonight, we're going to have a real interesting, probably brief conversation, but interesting because it's something that happens in the trans community a lot, and that is loyalty amongst girlfriends without competition. Is that possible? Can that
Mhm.
exist? Or, because I know it can exist, but it's very rare out there. Have you ever had genuine friendships with other trans women?
Yeah, I'll say I've had some genuine friendships with trans women. I think that it's hard to maneuver around friend groups, especially with a whole bunch of women. A lot of people get catty, and things kind of get misconstrued. Egos get in the way, so I think that plays a big part into why there be dysfunction within groups
Hmm.
or circles and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, Yeah, it's interesting though. It's interesting to see a dynamic like that because typically you don't see a lot of girls hanging out, and when you do, it don't be for long.
Yeah, it's usually there's, and I've been in all kinds of friendships, which is why I don't have a lot of friends. I have girls, a lot of associates, but friends, I pick and choose who I keep close to me because friends, when you transition with girls, because from back in the day, was a whole lot of girls transitioning when I started coming out. And transitioning with girls, it becomes sort of a competition of who did it first, who's the prettiest, which one's the trade, looking at, and that starts playing into how you interact with each other. And it becomes a problem in the fact that we let that become because we all become different women. We're not all supposed to be the same. We all become different women, and that's the point of it. But we get into this competition thing and it sucks. But we'll talk more about that. Who else is coming up here with us?
I don't know. I'm waiting on the other girls to come on in. I don't know where they at. They're not. I don't know. But I actually do got something I want to talk about. When it
Uh-huh.
comes to that topic, because interesting story. When I came out, um, back in like 2013, I don't want to tell my age, but back in like 2013 or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, I had a best friend who was trans, and first meeting her, she was already established. She was like a sex object. Everybody, lived for her, whatever. And she taught me the ropes when it came to like escorting, when it came to just being a girl. Like she just taught me the ropes. This is my best friend. So going into it, I didn't feel like it was a competition because I was learning from her. But it later turned into what I felt like was a competition because I felt like our friends, it was Butch Queens actually, the Butch Queens around us, they kind of pitted us against each other, kind of made it a thing because so what was weird was that coming up not knowing about escorting or whatever, I was taught to, at the time to hold off escort off of Craigslist, and
Mhm.
so the whole time I'm holding off Craigslist, this bitch on Backpage, on Euros, on all these other websites, said she ain't giving me the secret. I'm like, girl, and then when I found out, they was like, why aren't you on these websites? And I was like, what are those? And they was like, your homegirls on them. I was like, wait, hold up. So I was like, oh girl, so you was gonna leave me out here to drive, bitch. You was gonna hang me out to drive, bitch, and just but I didn't realize how competitive it got until me and her went on the road together. And it was crazy because me and her are two polar opposites. I'm light
Mhm.
skinned, she's chocolate. She's sexy. I'm not like this sex object. I'm just like, average. And but what I did notice was that cities that we would go to that she would do good, I wouldn't do as well. Cities that we went to that I would do good, she wouldn't do as well. Because I felt like it was the demographic or whatever them cities were looking for at the time. So like
Mhm.
say for instance we go to San Antonio. I'm not gonna do good out there because I look like a lot of the girls out there. There's a lot of
Hmm.
yellow bone, light skin, Hispanic looking girls out there. But when she goes out there, she pops because she's a chocolate girl, and then they're not used to seeing that, so it's like something foreign to them. It seems like, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Um, so I did kind of feel like it was like envy or something starting to creep up amongst us or whatever. But we always was like it. We always gave it up like it was friendly competition, but it turned out to be like not so friendly competition. It ended up getting really ugly, and now me and her are no longer friends, and 12 years down the drain. So
I will say that's an added element to the competition of transition itself. The added element of that is sex work, because sex work in itself is a competition. Girls be underbidding each other. Girls be trying to, you know what I'm saying? I grew up with girls who kept certain host roles to themselves because they didn't want a whole
yeah,
bunch of other bitches over there trying to, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because that's what it was. It was a hustle. And once you get a bunch of other bitches on your same hustle, just like we learned, once everybody found out about Craigslist, it got swamped with bitches giving, you know what I'm saying? So that became, so the money thing will create a different kind of competition amongst the
hmm
girls. You know what I'm saying? It'll now y'all competing about about who making the most money or who getting the most clients and that sort of thing.
yeah.
And that happens a lot too. That happens a lot too. When girls popping and other girls ain't, that's gonna create some kind of feelings.
But you want to know something that the new age is doing, which baffles me because I came out about 10, 15 years ago. Now, so I see the newer age girls. They're share like they have their little friend groups, like their girl groups, and they'll be in there sitting in each other like so like a date. If a date comes, they'll put the date in the group chat or whatever, and be like, "Hey, have y'all seen this person?" Or like, and they share information like that. That was never a thing for us back in the day. It was never like a thing where we was share like have, if I get a picture of a date, send a picture in the friend group. Hey, have y'all ever seen this date? Like that wasn't a thing for us. We just went for what we do, and you know what I'm saying. But this is what the new girls are doing. They're sending the pictures around, asking their homegirls how much you get out of him. Oh, you got 1,000. Oh, I could get 1,500. Type shit. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's a little different. That ain't how we that ain't how we did it back in the day.
That's not conducive to doing good business either. Because first of all,
I don't need my clients
m-
knowing that we know each other.
I don't either. I don't be discussing, but a client is gonna pay each girl according to what they want to pay. I've had clients pay me less than they'll pay another girl, and I've had clients pay me more than they'll pay another girl. But that's
Right.
just different clients prefer different things and are willing to jump out there for different girls. That's just that. So y'all passing each other around, all that's gonna do is create more competition because now you think, oh well, she saw him. Let me try and make him my client. Because everybody's trying to get regulars and get motherfuckers that's gonna stick with them. And all you doing is giving all your business away. You showing pictures and you know him and all that kind of extra shit. So I don't engage in all that.
But then again, on the flip side, it's clients that'll say the same thing. So, Miko, I didn't get to tell you this. So let me tell you this. So, I had somebody who hit me up on Grinder just the other
Mhm.
day. I don't know who. I don't know. I don't remember who it was, but I got the message in my phone, and so he recognized me from the podcast because he was like, "Oh, you on the podcast with Miko," and I was like, "Oh." He did just the other day. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see her," and I said, "Oh, okay, go see her." It just happened the
What?
other day, bitch. I kid you not. Where's my other phone? Bitch, I'm gonna show you who it was.
I don't want to know nothing about it.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? But no, it was a kick. I was like, okay, so it does like, bitch. One, I wasn't expecting clients to be watching this podcast or to know about this podcast, but to see that they're on the YouTube street in the YouTube streets and they're knowing.
It
Whew.
be well because they a lot of them follow. You have
Be
to.
on Facebook, our social medias and stuff. I guess, yeah.
Well, a lot of them follow the first transfusion too because I
Oh,
got
okay,
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
that. And I will say, because of some of the topics and because of some of the things that were going on at the time,
Uh huh.
I invited many of them to watch. I wanted
Oh,
them
okay.
I wanted them to understand what exactly was happening with us. What exactly it is that you think that what you think this is just a fantasy. But let me show you what real life is for us. How we go
Right.
through. And so I will say that more than a few of them started becoming a lot more respectful of who we are, and it started just from listening to what we go
Hmm.
through. And that happened around, and that's kind of was kind of my way of helping spread the information because look, this is information that these people would never get otherwise because they won't go seeking it. So
Hey,
we have
Sonya.
to put it out there for them.
Sonya in the motherfucking
Hi,
house.
hey,
Hey.
honey. Hi, Sonia. What's going on, babes?
They said at least the show is starting to reach the masses. No
Yeah,
shade. The show is definitely doing numbers right now. Bitch, we've
good.
got over 1,700 subscribers right now.
Well, good, good.
Yeah.
We just
So,
keep building on that, honey. And this is good for considering the fact that we took a long break and we're just now starting over. We do want this
yeah.
information to get out to many people, and we want to be honest as we can. We want to be, we want to reach out and to a wide variety of different kinds of trans people, but trans people from all walks of life. So it's important to be real about who we are as well. So, and I just wanted to clarify that just so that those of you who are listening and listening to us talk about escorting or sex work or things like
Oh,
that, those are real things that happen in the trans community. Those are things that
yeah.
are, I mean, they happen in the cis community too, but in the trans community, they happen for many more reasons, many different reasons. Many, that's where the coin survival sex work really got hyped up around us because most trans women, when they go into it, they're going into it at young ages, trying to survive being kicked out of their homes, trying to survive being shunned by their families because of their decision, trying to, you know what I mean? And so that's where it kind of became a thing. And that's how we became over sexualized in the way that we are. So we do need to put all that information out there. We want y'all to know everything about who we are because there should be transparency with us so that you understand that we're human, that we're people, that we have the same kind of shit going on in our lives that you do, and that we're not your enemy. So
You
we
want to
are.
know
That's what it is. Go ahead, baby.
one of the funniest things that I found out recently also was that my mom actually is a watcher. She watches this podcast. And I was gagging because I was like, girl, you be so nosy, but I had to realize that my mom, she really does love me, and she be wanting to know like what is going on with me, like what am I doing, and I tend to like kind of close my life off. I just try to like not involve her in the mess of the drama or whatever the case may be. But I keep her. I do let her know what's going on. But girl, I was not expecting like one of the shows I was talking about her or whatever, and she was like, I cannot believe you be up there talking about me like that's like. Oops. But I love that. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, I'm gonna tell my story. But I was gagging that my mama watches this. I wasn't expecting that.
That's good though,
Um,
because when parents show interest, especially in our lives, that is the
mhm.
connection. Because they're not gonna get it straight from us most of the time, but they will listen to the show and at least hear some of what we go through in some of our lives and get a better understanding. And that's all your mama want. Hell, that's a blessing because many of
So
them.
shout out to my mama, just in case you listening. Shout out to your mama.
Amen. Shout out. Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
But
So we
girl, where
talked
these girls
about
at?
we've talked about the competition of it all in
Mm-hmm.
the sex work, which there is a lot of very much a competition. That's what the whole thing is.
Mm-hmm.
In what areas of being trans, other areas of being trans, do you find competition? As far as I thought at one point, surgery and
Mm.
operations became a
So
competition.
I can say that because I definitely look at um. So I feel like we all came out in like eras. I don't want to call it eras, but we all came out in like groups. We came out in groups.
Mhm.
Like I have my group of girls that I came out with, that I transitioned with. I'm sure you had your group, like your clique that
Yeah.
y'all kind of all did the process together. It was crazy because for my group. I was the first girl. I was the first one to go get my boobs and stuff done. I got them done at like the age of 20 or 19, 19 or 20. Oh, Poker, Poker. Yeah,
Hey,
welcome Poker to the stage. Hey, Poker.
Hey, okay,
I'm about to
honey.
perform.
You about to what? Oh, come on,
You said what?
ponytail.
You said welcome to the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh hey y'all. Who all on the call?
It's just us three.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is Lachey Body. I said, girl,
Oh,
somebody body with some black and white on.
I'm screaming. But, what was it? What was we just talking about? I was telling you about,
No, I was saying because we talked about the competition within sex work, but in
uh-huh.
what areas of I find that there are other areas of being transition where that competition kind of rises
Oh
up.
yeah,
We were talking about
surgery. We was talking about
surgery.
surgeries.
Yeah,
Okay,
surgeries.
so I was like one of the first girls in my little group. They kind of went and got their bags and stuff like that, and then it was just like it seemed like one after the other, bitches was just getting bags, getting
Oh,
bags, getting bags. Huh? You remember that? Oh,
huh?
hey Sonya. Shout out to BBS's. Uh, but yeah, the girls were just getting bags, getting bags, getting bags, and I don't know, but I feel like it was just like everybody was coming into they judge or they womanhood. I don't know, but I didn't feel like it was like a oh I got to get my first or oh I got to do it before this bitch. I mean, but no shade. What I will say is once I got pumped, I didn't want to stop. You know, once I started getting it, it was like oh bitch I got to get more, I got to get more. But it was
Hmm.
just addicting. But I didn't even feel there was a competition in that. I just wanted to like make myself look better. Like you know,
But see,
it was for self.
when you're the first, you're usually not the one who feels the competition. It's the
True.
ones that are behind you. That's why once you got them, all the girls start running to get them. They felt like, "Oh no, bitch, you're not gonna leave me. Oh no, bitch."
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
it became a competition after you did it. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I guess that is true. Hmm. Pucker,
Even
what
on
was your experience?
um
Did you have friendly competition growing up?
mine wasn't a competition, but it was just easy accessible.
Hmm.
I was roommates with the pumping doctor, so it was easy to just get silicone and have access to all the different things like that.
Hmm.
So it made it
Hey,
really
Stacy.
accessible to be able to
Hey,
like get the work and stuff done. I was actually supposed to be something like a model for other people to come get their work and stuff done.
Oh,
okay.
okay. So looking back now, do you ever regret like decisions that you made as far as maybe um I don't know, like do you ever feel like you wish you would have waited and did it the right way or bitch, I don't give. I be like, bitch, I don't give a fuck, bitch. I'll lay on the table today, bitch. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I
I
don't,
was
bitch.
no,
Because I haven't
I
experienced
don't
any complications.
I wouldn't say I regret going the route that I took, but I wish I would have known a little more because was one of the girls that ended up being in the hospital in a coma for like I was in a coma for like 2 weeks, but I was in the hospital for 3 months
Oh,
behind getting
okay.
injections.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that
hmm
either.
Yeah, I still have scars today showing where they had to put a tube inside of me and my blood had to run through a machine to be cleaned out and it was pumped back inside of me.
Damn.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You
that's kind
know,
of scary.
and the experience I had is another story because the whole time I was in the hospital, because I was protecting someone that I loved and I cared about, that I felt like just made a mistake and I knew what I was getting myself into. I was trying to protect them. So I was trying to tell them that I went overseas and received black market surgery and black market silicone. But they wasn't trying to hear anything I was saying because I was a trans woman. They kept trying to test me for HIV and saying that this was pneumonia that I had and it was concerning to my HIV. But when my test came back negative and they noticed that I didn't have HIV, they kept saying, well, okay, well, something else is going on. You still have pneumonia. Pneumonia is showing up in your system. But every day the nurse walked in there, I kept explaining to her, no, this is not pneumonia. This is silicone that's going through I'm telling you, because as soon as I could feel it, as soon as I was getting pumped, it was a pain that I had never felt before. And it was like instantly short of breath. Like I would get up and try to walk up 2 steps and I would damn near faint because I couldn't catch my breath, or it felt like I wasn't getting any oxygen. So for when I got out of the coma and I was able to speak about my experiences and tell them what had happened, they was steady telling me that it was pneumonia, and they came and it was so bad. But this was way back. I want to say like around 2000 and maybe 2005,
Uh,
2006, somewhere around that time when the girls was first starting to get pumped. Well, they weren't first
mm,
starting to get pumped, but it was around when the girls in
we're just
Dallas really
learning.
started having access to like silicone and trying to, using us as
Yeah.
sperm dummies. And yeah, uh, they was coming in there. The way I felt so uncomfortable about the treatment that they did when they was coming up in there, but it was because they had not experienced it before, and they was coming
Oh.
like with mask on, with fully covered. You know the thing they come in like they don't
The
want
doc.
to.
You talk about the doctors?
Yes, every doctor that
Oh
came
yeah.
in there it was fully like covered from like mask on. It just was like, I don't know.
The
It just
suits.
felt so, yeah, the full suits, and it just felt so uncomfortable. But I was telling them all along what had happened, and by the end of before I got out of the hospital, they was like, okay, well, yeah, someone injected something into you, and I was just like, the whole time y'all have treated me like shit, and
Like
I
I
had
was,
been
like I
telling
had.
y'all this.
If I told y'all that when I came in here, that somebody injected something into me.
Yes.
What is the problem?
Well, okay, I'm lying. I didn't go into a coma for 2 weeks. I think I went in for like maybe 3 or 4 days.
Mm.
Yeah, because I was able to tell them what happened before I came. But it got to a point to where I couldn't breathe at all and I had to get a machine. So I had a machine connected to me that was pumping the blood in me and
Hmm.
that was pumping the blood out of me, going through the machine, cleaning it and putting it back in me. And then I was connected to an oxygen machine.
Hmm.
Oh wow.
But it showed up as pneumonia when they scanned it and everything. Yeah. So
Luckily,
I
I
think
haven't been. Now, my thing is I've wanted some more
Uh huh.
because of all the other stories that I learned about getting, aging and getting and realizing that I'm lucky that ain't shit went wrong with me yet.
Hmm.
I decided to leave well enough alone. But I don't think I regret any of the stuff that I've done because it's not messed up on me. It's not gonna
Did you
hurt
go
me.
through phases where you wanted more, like you were it was like, oh, I want some more, I want some more. Like I
I'm
went through
in a
like
phase
I
now
was
where I
like
want some more,
phases.
but I'm in a phase now where I want some more, but I don't want some more than I'm scared to get some. I'm scared to get some more because it's been so long and I don't, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I don't know about mixing different stuff and I don't know about, you know what I'm saying? I've just,
Yeah.
now I've gotten settled in it. Now it's kind of comfortable for me. So I don't want to break something that ain't broken. So
Right.
I
You
just,
know,
I get
the
that.
thing that's different, what I recognize about my
What?
seasoned sisters, Mika, y'all have really, really, I don't know who was doing y'all back then, but y'all have really good work.
Bitch,
And
it's
y'all
thick.
body look T.
Yes.
But
you
when I
know,
look at like the procedures and stuff of the today's girls and stuff, some bodies look okay, but some of that shit look like somebody just done pump some stuff up in them, just said, oh, you want something big back there just to look like something. But it don't even look like a real
It
ass.
start looking deformed or something. It don't be looking like what it's supposed to
Yeah.
look like. They don't do the see, I noticed that back in the day they used to give y'all like this Coke bottle shape. We used to do like Coke bottle. Like they don't do that no more. they
look here.
don't
I
do
don't
Coke
know. Okay,
bottle.
it's just like a ball here, a ball there, and no shade to no girl shape, but even like when it comes to ballroom, when I think about how some of the girls, when I, because I'm around cis women all the time. I feel like we all are, But when I
Hmm.
think about some of the girls that I see walking sex siren and stuff like that, and when I look at those bodies and stuff, and I just be like, their body doesn't really look like a body. I don't know what the hell it looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you
It gives shapes,
who
but it doesn't give like a woman's natural body.
Yeah.
you know who I not who I modeled my body after, but who told me how to get pumped.
Hmm.
Nicole. I kept telling her, girl, I want to go in there because Miss Thing, she's a Latina and she used to pumping Latinas, honey, and I don't want her to give me no Latino body, bitch. Give me. She was like, no, girl, no, girl. She said, no, girl. You tell her where to put it. You tell her what you want. You don't let them just pump you, bitch. You tell them where to stick you. And I was like, oh, okay. So
Not you tell them where to stick.
I told Miss Thing where to hit me. I was like, girl, hit me down here. Get down here, son. Don't get so high. Get down here. Do it
So
back
you
here.
wanted to know what you want. You had that idea, like, okay, this
Yeah.
is what. Okay,
Yeah,
I
and
would
I
say go for what you know.
yeah, I agree. You definitely should kind of get an idea of what it is you're going for, then go in there and telling the people. Because if not, girl, I done seen some girls go in there. Girl, I don't know what they be looking like. It just the surgeries and stuff, even like when you go to like a professional doctor or something like that, it just the BBLs, the none of it looks real anymore. It's either too big. And not saying that women naturally don't have those shapes or are really
Hmm.
big butts and heels, but the way it just doesn't look good as it did maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because as things get more popular, they become more exaggerated. And so
Either
now
that or
people,
it becomes not exaggerated, but it becomes. I feel like the easier that it is to get it, or the more accessible it is to get it, the cheaper they make it, the more.
that could be part of it too.
I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
What? Because
Because
now
now
it
you can
seems
get a
like,
BBL for like $2,500.
but right,
Mhm.
because now they're like churning out BBLs, and when you're churning them
Bitch,
out like
back in
that
the
at
day, there
that
was like
pace,
10 racks.
yeah, when you're churning them out like that at that pace, the quality
That's
does go
crazy.
down.
Good
But
quality.
did y'all see?
Mhm.
But do y'all also see, like, okay, so now I've seen where some girls are going to get surgery, like Rolly, where she was up and aware while she was getting like the
I
plastic
wouldn't dare.
surgery. That's crazy,
I would not
bitch.
dare.
She
Like
was
that
up.
is crazy,
She was
huh?
well.
She was up and awake while she was getting the plastic surgery done. So her head was moving while they was juking and diving in her, like
I
at a
wouldn't
plastic surgeon
dare.
office. She had a whole show about it, and I thought that was fucking crazy. Like, bitch, I would not be. I mean, of course, she's numb from the neck down, but bitch, I don't want to be awake when that's happening. That
So
would
was she awake and able to be like responsible, or just numb? Because I
no. She was awake. She was awake, like fully awake. Awake. She was talking to people. Bitch, let me see if I can find a video. Hold on. Go ahead and keep talking. I think I
And
found it on YouTube.
so, and so, because first of all, plastic surgery ain't never started as a tranny thing. Plastic
Mm-mm.
surgery started as a woman thing. Women were getting plastic surgery, fixing their noses, fixing their, what I'm saying? That was the popular thing amongst white women, getting nose job. So that was a woman thing to cosmetic and medically freshen themselves up and things like that. However, when it comes to body contouring and stuff like that, it started off with the pumping and all that. And then when rappers got hold of it and people like Lil Kim and started doing it, and you know what I'm saying, it became a thing where women started fixing their lower bodies, and that's when it became more popular to do the BBL thing. However, now, because it originally started with the pumping and it was originally kind of a tranny thing to make our bodies look more feminine like women, but it started with us. Now, women who are getting BBLs and that BBL body is kind of called the tranny look. And a lot of women get clocked for that too. Like they're getting clocked for having the tranny look because some of these BBLs ain't making your legs match to your
Well,
you
the
see
girls are
that?
trying. The girls are. I feel like the girls are now trying to keep up with us. Somebody said yes, Miko. That part. Um, I feel like the girls are now trying to keep up with the trend of the trannies because we're pulling in the boys, men, and so they're like, okay, now we got to overdo it so we can try to match these girls. Because let's just call a spade a spade. I know a lot of cisgender women, and okay, well maybe they're not gonna like me if I say this, but oh well. That I don't feel like they keep themselves up like the way that us trans women do. Like that, like they'll have a man and will not put on no makeup, not do their hair, not get their nails done, and feel like that's okay, that's content. And I'll be like, bitch, you gonna spruce yourself up because bitch, a bitch like me come through, girl. I'm hey.
But the new thing is being able to get outside of all of that and still look good. Cause I've heard a lot of like my cousin and a lot of my guy friends talk about how now women are starting to put on all these lashes and this makeup and stuff. And when they come up out of there, you wake up next to them in the bedroom, you don't even know who the hell you don't went to sleep with. So now the new thing is men and women are starting to want to like one work on their skin and stuff because one that makeup is really harsh on your skin and stuff. But
Mhm.
people are starting to get into more of their natural beauty these days than going all out of the way. One, because so many people are dying behind trying to create this image that they'll never get to, you know. And then when you get to that image you don't create it, you don't even know who you're looking at in the mirror no more.
And makeup was meant to enhance. Like for instance, you're supposed to, if you have sultry dark eyes, a little liner under here makes them pop out like that. Or
Mhm.
if you have, but it's not to change your face. And nowadays people are using makeup to change their face. They draw
And,
in
So
different.
she
and
just
not
said right. I
so,
told my friend about she would invite me out with, but won't let me dolled up. And she's a hostess woman. I don't get what she's saying. I'm confused.
Well, because one of the things is nowadays, and I hate to say it, but the more dolled up you are,
the more front you are.
the more ignorant niggas think you a man.
Mm-hmm.
Even fish, gorgeous
Oh,
fish,
that's interesting.
walking around beat. They think, oh, you must be a man because you're wearing makeup.
So
That's how
I wonder if the
ignorant it's
women get
gotten.
offended. I wonder if they get offended when a nigga asks, "Hey, are you a nigga?
They
Or
should.
was you born a woman?"
They should. Nigga, I'm just wearing makeup, damn it.
If they're asking like a cisgender woman, "You sure you was born a woman?" Would that offend them?
They should. They should get offended. Nigga, you think because I'm wearing makeup that I'm not a woman? That's dumb. Makeup was
Oh, they
made
say
for
yes.
I mean, no shade. I feel like if you like or if you are into makeup, you should have the freedom to be able to wear the amount of makeup you want to wear, look whatever way you want to look. But I think it gets to the point to where now cis women are starting to look like they're about to go hit the drag show.
Because we've given them all the we've given them all the secrets. We done told them about how to
They
contour
using
their
the
face.
banana powder. They're using the clown
We done
white.
taught them how to do the whole thing. Now they know how to highlight. They know how to draw their noses on. They know how to do all the
I
contouring
blame
around
RuPaul
here.
Drag Race. No shade. I blame RuPaul.
Mhm.
They know all the secrets. They know how to apply lashes right now. They know
Look,
how
look,
to
look.
do
They say
all
it
that.
be the lashes for me.
And look, and this thick ass drag queen eyebrow. They're
Yeah.
into it. They are
Mhm.
So
into it.
wait, was y'all around the area? Did y'all have you ever seen around the girls that put like the Sharpie with the eyebrows? Have you ever done that before?
They put
Cause
what?
Sally do it. Sally do her eyebrows with Sharpies.
No, she does not.
Sharpie.
I have seen her paint her eyebrows with Sharpies. Yes, she has. She's painted me
A
No,
before. Yes, she
no,
has.
Sharpie.
man. You
A
are the only person.
Sharpie.
You are the only person I know that will put a black brow on.
Bitch, I wouldn't use a black Sharpie though, but I'll put a black brown. Bitch, yeah, but girl, not a black Sharpie. Girl, I want to say it was. I want to say it was Sally. I don't want to not for sure. Call Sally tonight and ask her,
What's
"Have
the
you ever used a Sharpie?
difference? I mean,
What's the difference?"
What?
It's a big difference.
from a Sharpie and the black, both of it's black, right?
I mean, yeah. I don't, let me get the black Sharpie and I'm gonna show you what the difference look like. Hold on. I don't know if I got one. I don't think I got
Girl.
one actually. But no. But I was just saying. I don't even know why I brought that up. But yeah. Yeah.
Because there
But
was a
no,
thing I remember. I'm not gonna say I rock. I mean, I'm not gonna say nobody, but I have seen a couple of people with those black eyebrows, but and it just looked like Girl, I'm not policing the way nobody paint their face. I'm not the master of makeup. I'm not gonna dare police nobody the way they paint their face.
So
But
let's police the people with their teeth. What y'all think about the people with get their like to get veneers nowadays?
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Do you feel like I feel like what you call it? I do feel like it's like um it should be a part of like everybody's regimen to get like their teeth fixed. I mean, I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with getting your teeth fixed. Why not have pretty teeth?
I
I feel
feel
like
like you should have the freedom to be able to
right.
do or do whatever enhancements to yourself that you want. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that.
I feel like the teeth bring like a whole different confidence to
Absolutely,
someone.
absolutely.
Like
But because everyone is able to pay to get all these enhancements and stuff, it's kind of like catfish.
hey,
Cause you
them
The
ain't
don't
your real
know,
teeth, bitch.
look,
the
you
Them
way,
don't
ain't your real
hey,
know,
motherfucker.
you don't know what kind of children you finna bring into the world because don't nobody look like what
yeah,
they're supposed to.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
you
true.
don't, you're not
Yeah.
able to tell like who took care of their teeth, who eats healthy, and all that type of stuff. And I'm all like, look at me, I just went from blah blah blah, blah yeah, uh-huh.
I definitely I love it. I love self care though. I love being able to go and take
Yeah,
care of
I
myself,
like
spruce myself
having
up.
it within. I like having it within arm's reach because
But
for so
I
many
hate I
years
hate
we
having to
have been
maintain
able
it, bitch.
to have dental insurance and stuff. Now the scary part is that because all this stuff is being less accessible,
Uh-huh.
that so many people are again doing the black market stuff. And it's in the long run is it becomes more harmful than healthy because
We all gotta die one day.
Is there such thing as black market teeth?
Yes. That's what the dude he's in jail right now for like $50 million, something like that. It was a case in Atlanta where he was doing veneers, and I want to say he was sanding the people's teeth down or something. He was doing something that you're not supposed to do if you don't have the license. And the people sued him. The people sued him boot.
Mhm.
Oh my God. Oh my
Absolutely.
God. Oh Jesus. I
Yeah, he's
definitely don't
getting
want
he's
nobody
got a
playing in
big
my
lawsuit.
mouth.
Hold on, from Atlanta. It
Mm-mm.
just happened in Atlanta.
I don't want
Bitch
nobody
got
playing in my mouth that's not licensed.
she's okay.
Mhm.
Can somebody read that comment for me?
I
Oh,
Y'all
can.
have to forgive me. I truly don't know how the youngins carry it these days. In my time, it wasn't like that. I actually came up in Kim's generation when we saw her transformation. It was so drastic. You talk
oh,
about
Kim Kardashian, I think.
Mm.
you talk about Lil Kim.
No, Kim Kardashian.
What wasn't Lil Kim in like a wreck or something to where she had her first surgery was getting her face reconstructed?
Yeah, but you remember she did that. She did that disappear, and then she came back. Her body was all liposucked, and for that Candy album, this thing had looked a whole different way. She was blonde, and she came out of. She did the redo.
Okay, it says Brandon Dillard, Atlanta top veneer specialist, is going to jail for faking like a dentist. The crazy thing is he actually did a great job with veneers. He had all the real dental equipment. He even had the business partner, but I think what gave it away was the price. They were charging $6,000 to teach people how to do veneers. So he was coaching people and teaching people how to actually do the veneers. Damn, we could learn poker.
And he was good at it. Damn.
They say he was
You
the
would
top.
be surprised. I mean, if you really think about it, in these days of time, who has $20,000 to put on their teeth?
But see,
And
it says
in these days and time, who has $20,000 to chunk towards the school that for some shit they already know how to do?
well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it costs $6,000 to go and learn how to do veneers. It says you might as well go to school paying that price. The whole thing was fake, and that's the tooth and nothing but the tooth. Oh, they're being funny. Okay, pun intended.
And but look, it may have been fake, but they
Oh,
got
that,
some real veneers
she
out of
was
it.
talking about little Kim. I thought she was talking about Kim Kardashian. My bad.
Yeah, it may have been fake, but they got some real veneers out of that bad boy.
Yeah,
Mm.
but okay,
I
so
don't
he was
think it
the
was real.
top.
But the things I think because I'm not sure what it
It's
is,
the
the material
material.
they use, but it eventually causes your teeth to rot.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
really?
composite material that they put on your teeth and the glues that they're
Mhm.
using and
Like,
stuff. But I know that if you're not standing or sawing anybody's teeth, but then you're also dealing with teeth can kill you. Like if you get like an infection in your mouth or something, that could also kill you. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
that's
because
yeah,
risk.
it
Like you
they
causes
get
heart attacks and stuff. But cavities can cause teeth pain can cause heart attack, cause your blood pressure to rise,
right.
strokes.
yeah.
So much
So
can happen with your teeth.
so I would think that you would want to have some type of license when you're dealing with people's teeth. For I would think that would
You
be.
supposed to have a license. You supposed to be licensed, bitch.
I mean, bitch, my hairstylist ain't got no hair license, bitch. I'm looking at her like, girl, what you want $100
Well,
for?
but yeah, nah, girl, you can't charge that much. You ain't got no license.
Like, girl, I throw you 20, girl. What's up?
See, she got all the right stuff. She got all the
Okay.
right shit.
Okay, so they're talking about the dude. They said there was actually people who had issues with their teeth from his work, but
Oh, really?
he was a good
He knew
veneer
what he was
person. He
doing,
just
but he was using
yeah,
the
he just
wrong
had
shit.
people have special cases where they fuck it up or they might have had I don't know.
Maybe he was, like you said, he knew what he was doing. He was just using the wrong shit. He was
But
using the
It
wrong
could be
I
stuff
think
that
at the
too.
wrong
anytime
people.
you go through a risk like that, that's why when I went through what I went through with the silicone and stuff, you are taking a risk
Right.
of not going to someone who's licensed. Now, where I can see his mistake possibly being is portraying to be someone with license.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what
And you're training people to do this. You're training people how to but that's where it gets catchy. Like, okay, so if you train somebody how to do something, hmm.
then you're not only are you
Hmm.
what do they call it?
Good. Oh, so then if them people catch charges, now you're the person that taught them,
Hmm.
or
Because
something
you're
happens and
charging
they,
from
I guess it would be something like that though, man. Like when you get arrested for having a certain
impersonation.
amount of
Not only are you impersonating a dentist, but now you're impersonating an official
uh,
because you have to be an official to teach dentistry.
oh, like a teacher, like you don't have no teaching
Right.
license or
You have
something
to
like
be an
that.
official to teach that shit, especially to charge people to learn it from you. You have to be an
Six Rex,
official
girl.
or an institution. So he's impersonating the institution, basically.
I want to know: do I get my teeth done for the 6 Rex while I'm learning how to while I'm learning how to do the teeth, bitch? That's what I want to know. But that's crazy. They said he got greedy. Yeah, he was out buying Chanel purses and shit like that. But yeah, that was crazy.
I've known. I
Uh,
mean, that's how a lot of girls ended up. How a lot of girls ended up dead, and how a lot of these pump doctors ended up in the jail because they got greedy. They start pumping it in everything in these girls and start cutting
is
it
it
with it.
because they got greedy or the girls around them started getting jealous?
What?
clock that.
Explain.
Okay, so to be greedy and what I've witnessed because I've had friends like my sister Alicia and I can talk about the names because they information is public. Lisa Fox, Wee Wee, all those was good girlfriends of mine. But what was disturbing about them is the same people they fed was the same people that turned on them when shit got real. And
Mm.
I felt like while it was good and people was able to be fed off of the things they was doing, the loyalty went out the window when the gifts stopped coming or the support stopped happening and no started being a regular thing. I watched friends that to be walking the business and this my best friend, this my mama, this my auntie, this is my sister, ride or die, and they went through some stuff together. But as soon as that person stop giving them the things they want or have one fallout, everything turns to where this person is just the terriblest person. And I done been through some of the stuff like that.
Mhm.
Not like that, but just because of, and this is going into kind of what our topic is, but kind of going into like friendships and stuff. That loyalty of you being successful enough, whether it's illegal or legal, the amount of success, the amount of people that are around you when you're rising up changes when things doesn't go their way.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right? Or I need to
Hold
You
restate
on,
it?
hold
said it
on, hold
right.
on. Let me see. I think you did say it right. I think you did.
Yeah, you said it
So,
right.
so support when people are able to eat off of you looks completely different when you start setting boundaries and stuff. And recently I just went through a friendship to where I created a whole nonprofit organization around one of my close friends to be able to provide housing, resources, and things. But because of our friendship and our sisterhood, instead of respecting that while they're in transition, I'm in a transition too of becoming the person that I'm supposed to be. Instead of us just being a sister and her receiving a what you call it, it became like a battle of I'm always got to put myself on the same level you is, even if I'm not making the sacrifices or doing the work. But because we hold the title of friends and sisters, that we always have to be here together.
Mm-hmm.
When and even like watching like some of the things that I've had the sacrifices and stuff, like a lot of the times I've taken minimum wages, and I hate to talk about myself in this, but I've experienced this as well. I sacrificed working for an organization where I accepted minimum wage for over 6 to 8 years, being at
Mm-hmm.
least paid at a company. Also, being the first to open up in an organization for Black gay men, being the person, the example to go through like name change, to be able to receive service when it comes to HRT, to be able to be traumatized behind some of the words they were saying, like hearing things like if you're a drag or a trans girls are dance for $25. All those different things that traumatized me was the same things I use as a tool to be able to become a better person so that I can be a resource and open doors for my community. But then you have people that you try to open doors for, and instead of them respecting like the things that you overcame and came through, when they introduce or when they come in contact with you, they have it's this balance of competition.
Mm-hmm.
Step in, Stacey, because you know what I'm talking about, right? Or you know what I'm trying to get to. It's this balance of where competition to where we are one the same age, so we're first sisters. And because we both share the trans experiences, I'm gonna discredit your sacrifices and the things you worked hard for to get you where you are today. And I feel like the same thing that you have access to, I should have access to because of our connection together. So
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about
Not only of the connection, but we shouldn't gatekeep when we're trying to
I was just
further
gonna
the
ask, is that
liberation of our
gatekeeping?
community. Yeah, it's gatekeeping. It's essentially gatekeeping, and we shouldn't be doing that because essentially, it's like we're saying, I only want the liberation and the best and the resources for me, and not for my trans siblings. So we need to get out of the mindset of me, and stop centering ourselves and making
so
sure
not
that
even not
when we
even
have
saying it
access to
like
those
that.
resources, that we share them as well.
So not even saying it like that, but I'm saying it as when it becomes a competitive things. Like some people are not really, and that's a good point to make. But some people is not. I don't want to say it's gatekeeping, but some people feel entitled to the things that you've worked hard for, and when you start setting boundaries to like, okay, well, I'm able to do this, but I'm not willing to do this. It's like saying, "Oh, you're not loyal to our friendship and stuff." And people will ride your coattail while the good is good, but then not support the things that you do, like show up to groups or support the resources or either utilize the resources, but they'll be willing to walk in the club with you when it's VIP and they know you can skip line and stuff like that, and all that type of stuff. So I'm not talking about the part when it comes to resources because you make these sacrifices and you open these doors to be able to provide resources. So not holding back the resources, but the community feeling entitled because of the same age and sharing the trans experience, that the things that you sacrifice, they don't respect the things that you have overcame and came out of, and they try to compare themselves to where you have become, and automatically because of the connection to you, try to make it as if it's a equal thing. We're not understanding like sweat and tears came behind this. I have so many girls talk about how do you get into advocacy. My advocacy didn't start from like a training. It started from my life experiences. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how to like talk about it. It is, and it's a me thing because it's a my experience that I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? It's a my experiences that I'm talking about, and I know not only myself, but so many of us who have been given the title or worked for the title of a leader are it's only seen as this strong individual who are able to who just was stereotyped or either what's the other word I'm looking for, Miko? When you you're tokenized or presented the
Tokenized.
opportunity. Yes, but they don't recognize all the hard work, the dedication, the sacrifices and stuff that's put on behind you. I don't have people that have been through me with all different types of level from good and bad, but then walk into my house today and still ask me what is it that I do for a living. I think that's problem.
Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying.
And people dismiss the fact that I have been through a lot. I have sacrificed my whole life. I have took on for people. I have held not only my community together, I've held my family together. I have everything, but because I have something out of the norm, and I didn't get people. People are funny. People are really, really funny, and to be able to say I believe in God, but not believe that God can bless somebody out of something or make one thing move for another thing to come through is crazy because what I have learned, what I have learned to realize is that we, when it comes to trans people, we say it's a sisterhood, but we want to keep everybody on the same level. And you're only able, even when it comes to like surgeries, if you go get titties, I'm gonna go get titties, but my titties gotta be 800 cc's if yours 750 cc's,
Mhm.
or you go get your face done. It's almost like a competition in everything you do. But I feel like when it comes to us growing as a community, we can't really stand and have a legitimate fight against what's going on with legislation because we are not willing to pick each other up or support the things each one of us are doing individually.
That's true.
So I said a lot of things, Stacey. So one, you jump to gatekeeping when it comes to resourcing, and it's not like gatekeeping, but it's also respecting that someone has sacrifices in sweat, blood, and tears to get us some of the resources that's available. And if you're going to utilize those services, be willing to not put in the exact same work, but be appreciative of the work that was put into to be able to create these resources. And also, if they're available, use the motherfuckers.
Absolutely.
Because it's a difference when a person create a housing program for around the sister where it has everything that that one person needs,
So touchable.
then a person coming in feeling like that they are a part owner of the organization, and a person actually taking advantage of the resources that's available, creating something for themselves, and then being their best self. So I wouldn't say this gatekeeping. I was just bringing up a topic.
But I understand from a general standpoint what you're saying.
And can be correct
I
if need be.
I have I've created something and I've toiled and I've put in all this work and I've done this, and because not that you've been helping me, but because you've been standing alongside watching me do it, you feel entitled to it too. But
Mhm.
I'm the one who's working and I'm the one who's building and I'm the one who put it together. And that's the reason why I'm able to live like I'm living now. But you somehow feel entitled to it because you're my friend, because we
Yeah.
sisters. And I get it. I totally understand that. And
Mhm.
that's part of that competition because it's living vicariously through you. It's saying, you know, what's yours is mine. You know, your achievements are my achievements. Like we married or something. And it's kind of part of that competition of, you know, a girl who sees what you've done and feels like it's so beyond her scope. She won't be able to reach it, so she can just enjoy yours.
Mhm.
And that happens a
And,
lot
and
with us too.
and and that's one way to look at it. But then also, if you're like, if it's someone like kind of our incident,
Hello. Hello.
You was already doing a podcast, right?
I was
Uh-huh.
just about to ask about that.
You was doing a podcast for over the years, and after watching the backlash and stuff that you was getting, I came to you with the idea that we get together. One, because I want to advocate,
Hmm.
and as an advocate, it's always important to learn how you can reach and bring awareness to a bigger population of people, and knowing that if it's somebody you care about is doing something, and whether it was over a podcast or on in conferences, showing up to groups, hosting group sessions and everything, we both have a different way that we were pointing to our community while
Hmm.
using our voices and stuff. So joining together, I felt like was really a great idea.
Hmm.
Uh, one because yeah, I feel like it was a really great idea, and I wouldn't consider that as living through you or feeling like I have ownership because one, you have your platform, I have my platform, Stacey has her platform, Lachey has her
Right.
platform. Everyone has platform to where we're both where all of us are trying to one bring use our voices to uplift our community,
Right.
talk about educate our community, bring awareness to disparities
I know.
and
I
all different obstacles that we face. So I feel like all of us coming together would be really, really good. It is just so happened to be in a podcast mode, which was something that you was already doing.
Right. And that's how it should be done. What I'm talking about is something different, darling. I'm talking about somebody who watches alongside you while you do everything and make everything and build the empire. But because they were standing there and because they were cheering you on, they feel entitled to the bounty. You see what I'm saying?
Who are you talking about though, girl? Like name names.
I don't feel like she's talking about nobody. I'm
I'm not
thinking she's
talking about
talking about
nobody. I'm talking,
in
I'm
I'm
trying
like,
to
general.
are you talking
clear
about
up.
me, girl? Because I live for
No,
public so much.
no, girl. I'm talking about. I'm clearing up the situation that Pocahontas ran us around the airport trying to get to. She was trying to get to a point, but she gave us a whole elaborate story, and I was trying to sum it up for you what she was trying to
Well,
say.
I only did that because I was accused of gatekeeping, and I wasn't talking about. I just wanted to be very clear. It's the difference between gatekeeping and
And
be, what is the difference, Pocahontas?
Between
I just have to be clear. I'm not a gatekeeper, but I do have my own life experiences when it comes to the things that I have uh fought for.
I and see that's so we can get into gatekeeping because if you have, I don't know how to put this.
well, I know gatekeeping to me it means that that's a sign of evolution and that the ways of the old are changing and that people aren't comfortable with that. That's usually where gatekeeping for me comes in at like,
Uh-huh.
people aren't ready to just like let life be what it's going to be. Like life is this ever changing thing. So some people just aren't comfortable with change and they want things to stay the same, and that's where the gatekeeping comes in.
I
Like,
was just about to ask that.
just like it's like as soon as you get comfortable with life and you think, okay, we're trans women and this is what trans women should be, they get the game changes and trans women become something else. And so we can't just like get set in at any point and think that this is what should be, because life isn't that. Like look at music, look at everything, like fashion, like everything is constantly evolving,
It's
and our
evolving.
community is the same.
Mm.
So yeah, gatekeeping is one of those things. It just has. I think that's more like an individual problem, like a like from what I see.
So, why do y'all feel like when there is something that's freestanding and then somebody comes in and tries to like elevate it or whatever, they get such like the cold shoulder or the I don't know. It just I don't know. I kind of you
Because
get
of
what I'm saying.
what you said, people are not comfortable with change, and because some people are just one hit wonders, letting go of something can mean like removing yourself from the things that you love to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
the thing that I like about me is that I do everything. I
So
go
what I
from
like about myself is
I go from sewing. Everybody knows I'm gifted with my hands. I can build, stylists and everything. I'm constantly reinventing myself so that at any given time, if a gift is removed from me, I also have something else to go, and I don't have to feel like that this one thing defines me. And
yeah.
I think the reason why people give you the cold shoulder something because they are just defined by that one thing, and giving it to someone else. That's when I would look at it as gatekeeping because I don't feel like it's gatekeeping when you want your whole circle to be their own individual self. You know,
Hold on, hold on. You want your whole circle to be to have individuality. That's what you're saying.
let's just say I'm not gonna use me, but for me, example, I open up a home for trans girls. And Lachey, because even as a person who does a vegan chef, you've witnessed people never ever know anything about anything vegans. And it's kind of, some people would look at it as inspiring, and which it is, and it's motivation. Also, giving people options to be able to have access to something, but it becomes problematic when you start, and it's not that the teacher can't learn something from the student, but it's just like when you start making it seem as if I'm copying your swag, you know, and then it goes from you are recreating me and not being your authentic self.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, they say what they say about imitation being the best form of flattery. That's how I have to start looking at it because I mean, if someone's like imitating, then obviously that means you're doing something right. And then if you're a
Mhm.
pioneer, that's actually what you want. You want people to like if you're
Yeah.
doing something right, and that's what we want is for people to keep that energy going. So it's just about that perspective, changing our perspective. I think a little bit, like
And I
you
get that,
know.
but it's still the energy that you want to keep while in the midst of like pouring into others, because that's the goal as a leader, to be able to pour into other individuals so they can continue to work and it can live past you. Your legacy, you always want your legacy to live past you,
Mhm.
but it's this type of ego that comes with our community that it's either you or it's me, when it could be all of us.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Exactly.
I think that's what makes it problematic.
Yeah, well, I
Well,
think that's just a natural thing that happens just with people in general,
That
like the
doesn't make it okay
competition.
though. Just because it's natural, that doesn't make it
It's
okay.
competition is natural. I think it's about when it's unhealthy competition, like when it gets ugly and it gets cutthroat, and it's like I'm a push you under the bus so that I can win. Like it
But
shouldn't be that. Like what we should do in a competition is like, okay, you're fast. I'm gonna see how fast you are. I'm gonna see if I can go any faster, and we make each other faster and better. That's healthy competition.
that's healthy competition, but that's not the competition we was talking about when we started talking about like the surgeries and things like that. The competition we was talking about was these girls is playing like they're team players, and they're all, hey, we want to see you be great, and all this. But as soon as you said boundaries and said say no,
Oh,
they
I'm gonna leave this
oh
bitch out
this
the group chat.
this
Oh,
person,
I'm
yeah. I don't want this girl. I don't want this girl to receive and stuff. Let me start throwing rocks and hide my hand and just start being bitter and cutting deals or stuff, or going behind us back talking to the cameraman, and because I want to be, all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Not that you don't have it, but it's a certain way people around you move when they're jealous of you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want. How can you really thrive and continue to grow when you have people around you that's preying on your downfall and but betraying to be the people that's uplifting you, the people that's financially supporting you, or the people that's lifting you up, but all along they stand close to you because they see the potential in you, and they just don't want anything to happen to you, and it don't trigger down to them.
That's a lot.
yeah.
yeah,
That's a lot. Like,
I
first of all,
was told a
I ain't
long
got
time
time for these.
ago.
I ain't got time for like. First of all, like life, you supposed to be so focused on your own stuff. Like, you ain't got time for like all this other drama that people bringing in. Like, it's just unnecessary. Like, so many distractions. Life just got so many distractions.
I
And
was told a long time ago by my supposed trans mother. Well, not really. But she said, don't, you should only hang around girls who are at the same level of transition as you. because you
I
hang
would
with.
disagree with that
Hold
though,
on, just listen.
because everybody ain't gonna be on the same spot. Like that's crazy.
Will you let me finish, girl? She said that because she says when, and this is when I had, she was saying that because when you are a girl who has so much done and you're hanging with a girl who does not have as much done, 9 times out of 10, feelings of jealousy can arise from you being out, from you getting more attention, from people respecting your womanhood more than theirs. And the same thing when you're hanging around people who aren't at the same level of life or aren't as ambitious as you. You hang around them, they start seeing you do more, achieve more, they start becoming jealous because they're not achieving the same shit. And so again, that's what she was saying. You should hang around people who are at the same level of life as you, or at least have the same kind of ambition. That way,
You
you
know
can.
why I hang around all of y'all? I feel like each one of y'all one inspire me and y'all all challenge me to become a better person. And we might not be on the same level financially or even work when it
Mhm.
comes to our trans women. Because I'm complete. I'm complete.
Well,
But
who says we gotta be on the same level? Like I like the fact that we're not on the same level. Like the fact that you're
I
a
do
ballroom,
too.
you're a
I
ballroom
like
girl,
But
you're
we're
a
all in
ballroom
different
girl, and
places.
you're like you're doing like
Coca, I inspire you.
we inspire
you
each
do
other.
inspire me. You do
And
inspire me.
well,
Like
well, well,
watching your motherhood in
yes,
ballroom. Just
each
the,
of
the
y'all,
way
each of
you
y'all.
each one of y'all on this call really
Courtney's
inspire me.
strength. Courtney got that strength. Like we all bring something to the room, and yes, that's not just
Absolutely.
like
And I love that we're all able to share our experiences and it's different experiences, but we all share the one thing that y'all have in common. I'm an ally, but the trans part. But I do. Each one of y'all inspire me, and it is surprising me because I might look like the strongest one in the community, but definitely Miss Stacy gets me together. Miss Lachey gets me together. All y'all really get me together, and I appreciate that. And I don't ever want to say like hanging around the wrong person because my goal is to learn from y'all and then pour into the younger generation, or either. But it's so crazy because the younger generation can teach us. Why am I saying younger? And I'm a part of the younger generation.
I'm the
that's what
younger
I'm trying to say. Like
generation. That's me.
what younger
Me.
girl?
But I,
Me. Me. Me.
but y'all do inspire me, and I like the fact that all of us are authentic. You know what I'm saying?
Like
That
younger
so
where?
say it's times when I'm thinking about my health and stuff that I don't know the answer to things. I can call you. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
when we're talking about politics, because I'm so
Oh,
focused
you don't
on
gotta
direct.
call nobody no more. You got Chat GPT.
Well,
You some
I
good
am
for bitch.
very much like,
But
I took what she said into account, and I'm very much like that, and I've always been like that. I hang around y'all because I think we're on the same level as far as maturity. When I think of
but
someone who is matured on into their womanhood on a certain level, those are the kind of women I can surround myself with. So that's what I mean by a certain level. I have always felt like that because when I hang around girls who are less mature, who are younger in their transition, still wild, still we don't. I clash with that. I have to hang around more mature girls, girls who are settled in whatever they're doing in their life, girls who have focus, girls who have lives going on, and have other things in their life other than petty shit.
that's one thing. But
That
then also, how do we open up the opportunities for the younger generation to learn from us if we just center ourselves around amongst each other?
oh, I could let me tell you something.
That's a good
I
point.
don't have to. I don't have to hang around you to spread the news. I can tell you good things and I can show you good things. I ain't got to hang around you.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
so
but
I
you
think
but
this is
you know,
The teachers don't necessarily always go home from school with the students.
yeah, but you
Some
gotta
hey
don't.
have
hey hey
it's no
guys
time
hey
to
guys
text
hey
to the
guys.
teacher.
I'm new to I kind of came in the group a little late. Did we already cover the topics that we were like? Because I know we were going to talk about parenting. Did we ever
No,
get
we're
a chance
not.
to get
We
to
No,
were
we're
not
that?
not.
talking about
That
parenting.
we're
That
not talking
that
about
was in the chat.
parenting.
So we
That,
wasn't you're real late actually. You
Mhm.
actually you're
that's
I
early
next
am.
because
week.
that's supposed to be
I am.
next week conversation. Yeah. So I would suggest you just keep up with the chat.
That's why I was asking because I know I'm kind of late and I haven't been updated and I'm kind of like in the middle of it, so I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, so just sit back and listen for a second.
Yeah, just
Tonight
sit
we're
back and
talking
listen.
about Tonight we're
Well,
talking about the competition. Tonight we're talking about the competition of trans
The
and all areas
competition
of the
where
competition.
loyalty things and just the different type of like when it comes to sisterhood and stuff.
Right.
We're talking about us.
Yeah.
okay, period. I like that lighting.
Now, I was trying to say something earlier, but I think we glossed over that. I was going to ask about gatekeeping.
Gatekeeping.
Is there
I'm sorry, Mama D.
is there a such thing as gatekeeping for protection? Here's what I mean. I agree.
I know exactly what you're saying.
I agree that everybody should be their authentic self and be who the hell they're gonna be. I totally agree with that. But what happens when I'm trying to put this right?
Let me pick your brain because I know what you're trying to get to. When you talk about gatekeeping, like people having like let's use Flame for example. You have this amazing trans woman or trans presenting woman that identifies as male or however Flame identifies. You have this person in the front line, and now you have all these cisgender people following them. But to move forward, now this person is becoming an advocate and going against everything our movement is fighting for. You know, when it
Stuff
comes to
like that.
situation like that, it's just say even with like me, when I'm like being a leader in the community, everybody wants to know how to be an advocate and how to do this and how to do that. But when you open the doors to so many people, sometimes people can take you 10 steps backwards than what you worked in for. And people don't always, and not that people have to be aligned when it's such an important movement like the thing in issues like the things we're facing today. We have to all be on the same page of what direction, what we're trying to get to.
For instance,
And you got
that's similar to what I mean.
okay.
I mean, like the fight that we lived a lot of in the first version of transfusion.
Yeah.
That's where the whole bathroom issue picked up.
Are we back to bathroom? We're back to
Yeah,
bathroom.
we did a lot of talking about that.
Please don't take me back to the bathroom.
And then came this movement of we don't have to tuck. And what happens to me when the movement I'm fighting for clashes with the movement you fighting for? I'm fighting for us to be able to be comfortable and respected in the women's restroom while you're fighting for the ability to be able to walk in and disrespect all the women in the women's restroom because you want to be you.
So since
It's not.
Lachey mentioned gatekeeping is when someone is comfortable in a situation and they're not willing for change. Do we change as the movement change? Does it
No.
become
But here's the thing though, because we might change as the movement change, but our movement is based on a foundation that was already there, a foundation of man, woman that was already there. We're not coming in asking to tear down that foundation. What we were asking at that point was to come in and be a part of that foundation. But then you have another movement saying,
but foundations do change?
we want to come in and be able to be part of that foundation too.
Sometimes you need a
But
remodel.
we want to be comfortable in that foundation, which might make the women who that foundation was made for uncomfortable.
But
Hey,
sometimes
you
people
know,
get too
But
comfortable
that
and
should be
don't
okay.
allow change, and change needs to happen for the world to go around, right? And
Change needs to happen, but I think some things for me, and this is just how I am, because there were, again, until more people, and it becomes a commonplace thing in the world's population that more people are born with a combination of both sexual organs, there will always be a need for a safe space for people who have vaginas and women, and a safe space for people who have penises and men. There will always be a need to segregate those spaces because there will always be one on one side that's uncomfortable with the other. There will always be people who have vaginas that are uncomfortable around people with penises.
Maybe not though. The lines are blurring and things are
Yeah,
Well,
but
changing. We never know how they're gonna
the
go.
lines are blurry to
We don't
us.
know.
The
You can't say
lines are
that
blurring to
definitely.
us,
In
but
50
the
years, everyone could be unisex and
blurry to
heterosexual.
us. That don't mean the lines are blurring to the majority of the country. You do realize that we are still the smallest demographic in the country or in the
yeah,
world.
I hear you.
that's
I
why
hear
when you
So
We
we
are we
were,
are
but
literally
then
1% of the population,
so if we're just 1% of the population, that's
or less than
while
1%.
Oh my God.
while it's a lot, it's not a lot.
There's a lot of me out there.
So
Yeah, I know.
there are not
That's what I'm
enough
saying.
of us to say
Well, there's a lot of me out
this
there.
is a woman's space. I think penises should be allowed in here. It's not enough of us to say that. If there were more people, if the country was populated with half LGBTQ and half trans people, or even 15% trans people, like there are 12% black folks in this country. If this country were populated with at least 15% or 12% trans people, then I could even say pushing down the doors. But we're less than a
or
percent.
do what the new movement is doing. Do away with the genital things and just identify a
Things
person
can
as being a
change.
human being.
Okay,
Things can
but
always.
we can
That's the
That's
do
not my
that.
fight.
change.
That's not my fight.
We can do that, but we're not talking about that. What we're talking about is safe space for women, safe
Oh,
space for your.
that sounds like the same
But
conversation.
Mhm.
You're
okay, but if
saying
it's
one.
okay, tell me this: you
The
have
reason why I'm
daughters.
saying it's the same conversation is because you're saying cis women or cis men are not comfortable being in a restroom with someone who's trans, and trans
I'm
people
not saying that. I
are
didn't say
being
that.
frustrated,
I
or
didn't say
either
that.
just being in spaces. Just we're talking about safe spaces, right?
No, I said some women are uncomfortable being women with vaginas are uncomfortable being in spaces with a penis. I didn't say they were uncomfortable being in spaces with trans women, because again, there are many trans women that share these spaces with these women and they're not uncomfortable because they don't know they have a penis. What I'm saying is we're asking to then further make them uncomfortable by putting our penises on display and going
But they're
into these
not speaking.
spaces. Now, you as someone who has daughters,
But the guys
do
aren't
you
speaking.
feel
Can't
comfortable
because
with
society
your daughters
requires.
Mute your
using
phone.
But
Mute your
do
phone.
you feel comfortable
Nico,
with your daughters
I can't
using
use it.
spaces with people whose penises are on display?
First of all, my daughter ain't got no business looking at nobody's penis at the beginning,
It should,
and
well, if
even
it's
if
not
it
on
is
display.
on
but
display. And it's
particularly,
and women walk around with jeans on that naturally shows their ass, whether they're trying to hide it or not. And you have men with big penises that no matter if they put on some presentable penis or something, you still gonna see their penis. People need to respect people's privacy, period. But
can
But
I
if
say?
you
we're talking
have
about
someone
restaurants.
walking in the restroom, they should be respected as a human, whether they have a penis, a vagina, or anything. And we're still talking about safe spaces. Whether
Yeah,
you identify it as being uncomfortable, it's still an unsafe space to you if you're uncomfortable, right? Right, Stacey? Right,
yeah.
Lachey?
And what I
So,
want to
so,
ask you,
so,
Nico,
so we are talking about the same thing. We're still talking about unsafe spaces. And where
Right.
the new movement is moving to a direction of who gives a fuck about what you have between your legs and what a person feels. Respect a person for being a human first and do away with all the gender shit.
I might need you to
Which
repeat.
is
let
which
me
is
So,
just
ideal what we're saying, but because we are gatekeeping about what transitions look like and why we should fit in the door and the next people shouldn't,
Jamie wants to see.
that
that is the
I think
problem that we're
I think we're
having to where we can't move forward.
I think we're conflating arguments. We're conflating arguments because again, this has nothing to do with trans people and bodies. When I identify, if I'm a girl who has been raped and I'm in a dressing room and I do not want to be around men or anything that resembles a penis, and I'm in a dressing room and I see one, I identify a penis, that does not mean I'm instantly dehumanizing you. That's me saying I'm uncomfortable being around that in this space that's supposed to be just for vaginas.
I
That's
can
what
hear
that
you
says.
if that
It
person
doesn't
walks in there with their dick in their hand and they hit you across your head with it. Then I can respect what you're
well,
saying.
no, if
But if
someone
it, but
is
if
in
I'm
a place, if
but
my
if
but
naked
I'm
but
body
no,
someone,
the
if my
conversation goes
naked
back to
female body
passability.
is out and if my naked female body is out in a dressing room and I'm a female with ovaries and a uterus and I have trauma with men and I see a penis coming around the corner in a space when I'm naked and I think that this is supposed to be a safe space for me to be naked, I don't care if he's slapping me upside the head with the penis. I'm going to feel some kind of way about that, as most women will. Because again, while we have this open-minded idea that people's genitals shouldn't affect nobody because that's how we feel, that's not how the rest of the world feels. Because again, we are only a small percent of this. So we can't just start pushing down the doors and say, okay, you have to accept my penis because it's there. Because these are foundational things that have already been set up for these
Honey,
people.
I heard
No,
everything
but
you said.
And
A
hold on,
person
and
ain't gotta see a
I'm not going to say
penis.
that I disagree with it. And the reason why I'm not going to say I disagree with
Well,
it
I would
because
like to say something.
I don't have children,
Hold on, let me
but I
just
do have a little sister and now have a little niece and I have a mother. And if anybody walks in on them while they're naked and they have a penis out, I'm going to get pissed about it.
I heard
Because
exactly
again,
what you're saying, and it's
so
very
that's
clear about what you're saying, but I need you to get out of this thing called delusion. I
Yes.
don't give a damn if they see your penis or not. If they feel like you have been born with a penis, that same person is going to have that problem with that penis showing. Is the same person going to have a problem with a trans person walking in the room knowing that they was born with a penis?
so do we
And
not?
again,
But so
well,
you're
let me
saying that
respond to
we should
this.
walk
Let me
around with
jump
our
in and add
penises
something,
out just
Mika.
because people gonna be able to
No,
tell
I'm
them?
not. Oh, no,
Let,
no. That's not what I'm saying. Because,
let me add something though to the conversation. I think when we start thinking about it that way, we're literally saying like we need to start becoming the sort of passability in public spaces for people. When we need to start talking about is how do we cultivate conversations to change people's minds, because it's the same. It's let me connect the pieces for you. It's the same concept when people say, "Oh, so and so girl got raped because of them short skirts she was wearing or the short shorts," and it's like, no, it wasn't the skirt. It was the person's mentality who decided that they were going to be perverted to do that. So people's minds need to change for them to start accepting trans people. And it does not need to be trans people that we need to conform into a certain passability aspect to be okay in society. No,
I
conversations should
agree.
already be happening where we're talking to people about women's bodies look different, including trans women of trans experience. So I think it's definitely a conversation to be having, and we shouldn't be trying to conform to some sort of
Just
stereotypes for people.
because
I don't
I'm
agree
walking
that we
in.
should be trying to conform. I don't think that we should be trying to conform to passability, but I also don't think that hiding your dick should be considered a form of passability. To me, hiding your dick in a space that's meant for vaginas is respect. It's not passability. It's knowing.
Be
It's first of all, it's respect.
Respect is me walking in a room telling you I am a trans woman and you're respecting me as such.
Yeah, I am a trans woman.
Knowing
That's
that
okay.
me being
Trans
a
women can
trans
by
have
woman,
saying
trans women
that,
can have
trans women
penises
we're
come
and
with a
vaginas too.
penis.
no, but by
Trans
saying that, Miko, we're boosting literal turfs who, trans radical feminists or feminists who are exclusionary of trans folks. We're literally boasting them by saying, okay, women in women's spaces should only have vaginas, when that is not the case. There is women of trans experience
no.
who still have penises, and that's where the conversation needs to go,
And
and not about we
that's
start
where
hiding.
respect comes in.
That's not respect.
Because regardless of what you
I
say,
think I think the word you're
even if we
probably pulling
walked
for is
in, even
understanding.
if
We should have understanding, but I'm not going to
me
conform to people's.
me being as much of a woman as I think I am, if to me, it doesn't have to feel this way to everybody, but to me, because I present myself as a woman, and because and by extension, in everyday life, a female, because I don't walk around telling people I'm trans. Now I don't
But do
deny
you
it.
walk? But do
I
you walk
don't.
tucked every day?
Hold on. I don't deny it, but I don't walk around telling people either. So
But do
for
you
those,
walk around tucked everywhere you go, Miss Miko?
I go, what? No, I
For the
don't.
most part, I never
So,
seen.
so if you being the woman that you are, have one of those days that you choose to wear a long sundress and don't tuck in the wind catches your dress, do you feel like it is still respect when someone says, I don't want that woman with a cock up in this restroom?
Let me tell you something.
Now
On
make
days
it
when
not be
I
about
don't, on
passability.
days when I don't tuck, and that's
Don't
been
you
very
repeat it. Don't you repeat it.
That's been very, 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 and I can count on a hand how many times that have been in my life where I wore a sundress without no tuck. But it's happened. But I don't do that for very long because I can feel myself flapping in the breeze. And I know if I can feel it, somebody can see it. And I am very careful about that care of holding person shit because again, I don't know how y'all to me, I transitioned not to be this halfway thing. I transitioned to live and be perceived as a woman. And as a woman, I get that I'm a different kind of woman, but I transitioned to be a woman. So I didn't transition so that I could scream from the mountaintops that I'm trans. I didn't transition so that people can know that there's something different between my legs. I transitioned so that when I walk through the street, you think I have the same thing between my legs that bitch got. You just think I'm a woman and leave me the
That's
fuck
where we
alone.
get back to
I
masculinity.
don't care nothing about what you think.
Now,
I am a
that's
woman because I
that's
am a
how I live,
woman.
and that's for my protection. Just because I don't like to be scrutinized about being a trans, I don't like to be. I don't. That's just how I live, and I don't expect everybody to live that way. This is
Girl,
not
I don't
about.
care if you
To
tuck
me,
or
this
you
is not
don't
about.
tuck.
To me, this is not about just how we live. To me, it's about. And y'all can blow up if you want to, but let me get this
No, it's
out.
okay.
To me, this is about self-respect. If you respect yourself as the woman you're transitioning into, then you understand that there's certain things that you won't see a woman do. Mainly walk around with a dick hanging out. And so I am of the position that yes, if you somebody who wants to be an untucker, if you want somebody who wants to present and give this broad screenplay about how you're a trans and put it on display, that is fine. That is your prerogative.
Even
However,
when we bring up the scientific specs that you always talk about, me being a trans woman that'll never be a biological woman and having a penis, is that still self-respect if I don't respect everything that comes with my body?
yeah,
Hold on, somebody said I think it's still transphobic, but I feel like when trans women don't tuck, they're intentional about not letting others see. The next person said to have understanding is great, but also to possibly ignore the certain cis women are uncomfortable with this type of situation, and then have the mindset of not caring about their feelings is disrespectful.
that's the point that I'm trying to get across. We think that because we are who we are, now we have the right to make everybody else around us uncomfortable. I know that I'm a trans woman, and I know that my existence automatically makes people uncomfortable. I get that. However, and that's not going to stop me from being who I am. However, it does make me understand that there's a difference between my body and the body of the restrooms of the people I'm trying to share. Of the
Well, we
dressing rooms.
obviously
We
that's
Hold
what makes
on.
women
we can
uncomfortable.
play, but
Hold on.
it's
There's a difference between my body and the body of the dressing rooms of the people I have to share. And I understand going into this, living as a woman, I understand that there are women who are traumatized by penises, who don't want to be around them when they're naked, who don't want to be around them when they're trying to get beat or trying to get ready or trying to work out or trying to shower or do whatever it is. They don't want to be around penises. They don't want that hassle. And so to see one is for them disrespectful, whether we find it disrespectful or not. And I get that we want to normalize our bodies, but again, if we're going to normalize our bodies, we also need to normalize a restroom and dressing rooms for our bodies, as
hello,
opposed to
What
people
makes
hello,
you so
holding on to
passionate
it.
No,
about
no.
hello. So
restrooms?
we're with the new
Well, no,
generation when we talk about
okay, let me say
change.
something though. Let me
We're
say
with
something
the
though.
huh.
Because let me say something though, because
Okay.
a lot of what I'm hearing right now is a lot of the fear and the rhetoric that far right folks kind of implement in community. And when in reality, when I've gone to Ross, when I've gone to a dressing room, there's doors. Half the time, every time I've been in a dressing room, I've never seen a woman walk out of the dressing room but as naked. They walk out with the dress on, with the outfit to come use the mirror outside to try it on. Never in my life have I been in a dressing room where you see women just walking around naked because there's doors.
Well, no,
So
Only at the strip club.
that
I
just
don't mean like a
reinforces the
store
fear.
dressing room. I mean like a gym dressing room. Not
Only
dressing
at
room.
the
I'm saying
strip
dressing room,
club.
locker room. I meant locker room. That's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah,
And
locker rooms and stuff like that.
half of the time, a lot of the trans women that are in those spaces, like myself, when I've been in those spaces, I never changed in front of other women. I used a private stall. I used a private shower. I didn't do any of that. And I think that when we say those kind of narratives, we're reinforcing what the far right folks are saying about trans folks.
But I don't
What's the
think
far
you
right
go
folks?
in there because Stacey, as long as I've known you, I don't think you go into these spaces with the intention of making anybody uncomfortable or putting anything on display.
Nobody
You go in
does.
there as a private person, just like most trans women should, and you
Yeah.
don't put it. But what I'm saying is
And we don't
that
have to go
is
too
how
far,
we should
Miko.
behave.
We
That
don't have
is
to go
how
too
we should
far.
behave. To
Just
handle our
last year,
private
Yeah,
business.
I don't
just
think
last
nobody
year,
goes. Well, sometimes people do, but I don't think majority of us, when we go into these spaces, that we're intentionally making people uncomfortable. But
yeah.
because the people done been through certain, done had their own experiences, and it could be an unsafe space because of what they have been through. We literally walk into those spaces and make them uncomfortable. That's what I'm saying. So I'm
I
not
think
dismissing that someone, but I'm telling you, like you trying to separate it from it having something to do with a penis. And
no. What I'm saying is there are girls who like the we don't have to tuck movement that do go intentionally into these spaces with their penises on show so that they can show that my body belongs in here too. Again,
Name
to
me
me,
one of those.
And then
disrespectful.
and then we
I don't
talking
think the
about a
way
gym. This
Stacey,
penis
I don't
is
think the way
everywhere.
Stacey goes into those spaces is in a provocative way. She goes in there like a woman who's trying to get her business taken care of, go
And
into a
Miko, that's
stall.
true. I agree. I do go in
That's
there
how she
like
goes
a
in there.
woman trying to get my business done, and I did that last year, going to a restroom. And if y'all read my article in Teen Vogue, that's specifically what I wrote about. I talked about my experience literally going to a Quick Trip restroom. I was just Ubering, driving for Lyft, doing that. Literally just came in to use the restroom. The woman didn't even see me come into the restroom. She just said, "Hey, I have a question for you," straight from the stall, and said, "Are you a man or a woman?" At that point where I came in tucked, I came in fish as fuck, and someone feels that they want to clock me and say something, what do I do in that point? Just don't use the restroom at all. Like, we
No,
have to
cuss
really
out,
start
tell
thinking
her
about
hell
how.
And
no.
it has nothing to do with a penis.
Tell her
That
cuss
that
out and
same
tell
person
her
would have
hell
asked
no.
the
Cuss
person
out.
that
So I'm just saying, regardless of whether we tuck or not, we're still going to face the discrimination in the restroom. So we need to start having
that's what I'm saying.
conversations about how do we
I don't
stop
think
this.
that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I think that you're more likely to have to face that kind of shit if you are putting what makes you a male on display. I think if you go in there with as a woman, I think you are always, yes, we are always gonna have nitpickers and people. You have women, females who get picked on the same way, who go in there and because they look a certain way, somebody thought that they was a man and that was that, or somebody they were too tall, somebody thought they was a man. There will always have ignorant motherfuckers like that out there. But if we make it available for them to see, of course, that's going to happen much more often. When you go into a restroom with your dick hanging out, of course, they're going to say that's not a woman. If you go into there any other way, if you go into
Girl,
there
no
like
matter
you
how
would
you walk
normally
up in
go
there, they're
to a
gonna say that's
restroom,
not a woman if you walk in there with what you call it. So do we do what the new movement is doing and create gender
Go piss
friendly
outside.
I tell you what,
or just do a restroom and remove the gender and do one single
how
restrooms. And big
there
boy,
are
you just go in there, use the restroom, come right up out of there. Because
if there
I
are
heard what you're saying, but what it happened 10 times or it happened one, how do we move around it happening, period?
One
And
of
I
that's
the
the
mean,
conversation we're talking about. Like, how do we
but
have this conversation? But you saying, oh, you
we
got
can
to
move
come up
around
in
it.
here. That's
We can
gatekeeping. They're saying like you putting a level of to someone's transition. Oh, you got to tuck in order to come in this space. Well, it
Somebody
don't matter
said
if you tuck or not. If
is that an
someone
unreasonable
recognizes
thing to
you,
ask?
huh?
literally we're more clocked by cis women based off looks rather than whether or not we tuck. Also, a lot of trans women tuck because we suffer from this
Dysphoria.
dysphoria. Now
Dysphoria.
some of these new gen queen careers are odd. I don't know what that means.
That's
What does
not,
that mean?
That mean they weird. It's giving sis
Okay. It
I
Stacey said she
And you
agrees.
but the thing is because things are changing so much. You have people that are presenting as trans women now going into these spaces, and that's what's making it even more uncomfortable. Because now you have men just dressing up like I watched this guy. Well, I watched this guy on TikTok. He's a sexy black man, but he likes to put on like cheerleader dresses and stuff like that. Don't put on her hair or nothing like that. But he goes around in spaces and stuff and go introduces himself to like women just to see how they're gonna respond. But you have situations like that and people presenting as trans women and saying, oh, I'm trans. And it's not gatekeeping where you are your transition, but we do have people just using trans as a identity just to get into these spaces to be able to go in there and prey on women. So
But
I'm
we
I'm
feel
not dismissing that or nothing like that. But then how do we balance to where one, we keep spaces safe for them, but also where it's safe for us too? Because as a trans woman, I'm not gonna let you say because I am a trans woman and I have a penis that if I come into a space and because of this part, this thing that's attached to my body is showing whether I'm tucked or not tucked, making you unsafe. How do we keep everybody safe? Because now you calling me out when I'm tucked, and I'm in a restaurant stall and asking me am I a male or female. Now I feel unsafe. And is it cool for you to feel safe and me not feel safe, or how do we meet in the middle where we both feel safe?
that's to me, that right there to me is the least we can do to meet in the middle. Meet in the
So
middle. I know I don't belong in here. You or no, let me take it back. I feel like I belong in here. You think I don't. However, the least I can do is not put on display and make you uncomfortable with the one thing I know don't belong in here. That's the point. That's the meeting middle. That's what I'm talking about. How can we all feel safe? I can feel safe by coming in here knowing y'all not gonna fuck with me. That again, we always gonna have outliers. But I guarantee you gonna get that scrutiny and that bullshit 10 times more when you have on display what is male about you than when you go in there just simply being respectful and tucked.
I don't feel like we have the luxury to justify any kind of transphobic right now.
I don't think that's transphobia.
I think it's a level of transphobic, and it does addresses like the safety of cis individuals and stuff. And I don't want to dismiss that, but because of the things we're going with everything that's going on with the things that we're facing right now, I'm not going to justify someone discriminating against me, hating against me because of the things that's attaching to me. I'm not willing to. I'm not in a space where I'm willing to justify those type of things. So if you feeling that comfortable, you want them people right now, we are fighting for our existence. I'm not in a space where I'm going to allow anybody to disrespect me, make me feel uncomfortable and justify it just because my penis is showing. That's not
We're
happening.
we are
Not today.
fighting for our existence. But in fighting for our existence, because again, we are the smallest demographic in this country and barely got the numbers, we can't fight by ourselves. And in order to fight, we need allies, people who understand us, people who understand what we're trying to do. Those allies have to come from the people we're trying to share space with. If we're making the people we're trying to share space with uncomfortable, they're not going to become allies. They're not going to understand our fight. They're not going to try to fight with us. Yes, I get that I have, and let me tell you
How do
something.
we
Can't
make them
nobody,
uncomfortable by
hold on,
existence if they are an ally?
can't nobody, because I know females who don't want to see my piece, that are cool and that look at me as a woman, but they don't want to see my piece. And I get that. I totally understand that because I don't want to see their box. The point
In
being,
some cases, that might be true, but
hold
I
on,
need you to not dismiss that it's underlying shit behind it too.
it
Because
might be,
I hear you talking about the
it
penis and
might
thing,
be,
and we
it
cannot
might
sit on
be.
this call and play like it only has to do with a penis showing. It's a
I'm
bigger
not
picture,
saying it
and you
only,
watching it
I'm not,
happen all around
I,
the world.
I'm
You had
not
a
saying it
whole
only has a piece.
stud, a whole masculine stud. If I was a cis woman that was not attracted to, if I was a cis woman that wasn't attracted to lesbians, I would have felt uncomfortable for that stud to be in that gym room outside of this what was it, trans woman or butch queen.
And you're absolutely right.
I would have
But
felt
guess
more
what?
uncomfortable for
But guess
that
what?
person not to come
But
into the
guess
space
what?
than
The
this trans.
law
But
and the society, regardless of whether you would have been uncomfortable or not, the law and the society says that stud belongs there because of her body. So regardless of that, that's what I'm saying. We're not just talking about what
not
feels
only
right.
the law, not only the
We
law
talking
is
about
saying this,
laws and
you as
legitimacy,
a black trans
all of
woman
that.
saying that right now too.
I'm a black trans
You
woman
are a
who knows
you as
what
a
world.
black trans
I'm a
woman
black trans woman who knows what
are
world we
riding
live in.
along and having the same conversation that this cis person is saying that is trying to eliminate us out of this space
I'm
that
not.
makes us feel safe.
I
You
don't
as a
think that
black
that's what.
trans woman
I
are
don't think I'm saying what cis
saying the
women are
exact
saying.
same thing. Not
I
only
don't think I'm saying the
that
exact
stud
same
is
thing.
saying, but the law is saying too.
I don't think that I'm saying the exact same thing the stud is saying. I'm not saying that we as a people, as our community, don't belong in these spaces. What I'm saying is we as a community should have more respect for these spaces. That's what I'm saying. It's not a matter of a woman with a penis shouldn't be in the women's locker room. I'm saying a woman who knows she has a penis going into a women's locker room should respect the vaginas that are in there. That's what I'm saying. That's
I
all I've been
I
saying.
agree.
I'm
Why
not
do
I
they
saying that
get
you
agree.
got to
I
be
ridiculous
agree.
like
passable.
this?
I'm not saying that
I
you got to
agree
be
with what you're
passable.
saying.
I'm not saying that you got to be passable. I'm not saying that you got to be look a certain way. I'm not saying that you're not gonna get clocked if you do tuck. That's not what I'm
Let
saying.
me be clear. I absolutely agree with what you're saying, but the conversations that we are needing to have today, it don't need to go the way this is going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that I don't disagree, but because we are where we are today, fighting for our existence, this conversation has to be going. And I'm not, like I said at the while ago, I'm not willing to justify you making me uncomfortable to make you comfortable. And I'm fighting for my existence right now.
And you know what? I agree, but I take the stance that I'm not in fighting for my existence and knowing that my existence can't be fought and won alone. I'm not willing to make everybody or the people I need uncomfortable so that I can just be who the fuck I want to be.
So you gonna fight for somebody you know ain't gonna make you comfortable no way, no matter what
No,
way you
for
show up
instance,
instead of the
hold
non-binary
on.
community?
Let me give you one example.
Stacey tapped out.
Yeah, she did.
Isn't there a female or something in the audience?
Yeah, there's a female out there.
It's
Okay,
fine.
there's a female in the audience. And when we were talking,
So you about to side with her and side with
So
your
no, I'm not siding with
sister.
her, but this is a
No, I'm
female
just playing.
who
I'm just
this
playing.
the alpha said this is a female who has come to listen to trans conversations, who is clearly trying to understand who we are. She agreed with one thing that I said, and that's simple. Some women have trauma with penises.
Mhm.
Some women don't want that in that space. That's all I'm saying. It's not a matter of they don't want us in that space. There's certain things they don't want to see in that space.
So
And
I'm not
for some of them, they just don't want us.
dismissing.
I get that.
I'm not
But
dismissing that at all. That's not what I'm going against. But I'm saying if you have an issue with penises, ain't nothing, and you're talking about in a gym space, what we're talking about, ain't nothing but penises walking
Stacey's
around the
back,
damn
I
team.
think.
No, she's not. No, she's not.
Is she
It's
back?
Island. Island was saying she's here. No, they were saying they wanted Stacy, but no.
Oh, okay.
Island
Okay.
said she's here.
Ain't nothing but people walking. All you have is these jocks walking around with penises and things. So would a gym might not be the safest space for you. Maybe working out in like a hotel thing, but not removing you from a place that was designed for you. That's not what I'm saying neither. But for someone, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
And the reason why I'm arguing this is because I get both sides of the argument. I genuinely get both sides of the argument. On the one hand, I do believe that everything people should just be who the hell they are. People should get used to it and things. But on the other hand, I also know what society we're in. I know how small a group we are, and I know how even as 12% Black people, we couldn't change how this country was made and how it treats us. So, on the same hand, as even a smaller percent of trans community, we can't change what's foundational, what's even religiously foundational in this country. In all religions in this world, what's foundational is that something is wrong with us.
You
And
will
so
be
in
surprised.
that small percent, what we're not going to be able to do is just knock over their binary. We won't ever be able to do that. Not until religion is gone. And that's not going to
You
happen
will
for a
be
minute. So
surprised of
if
the
we not,
number of how the amount, the percentage that we hold when it comes to the world when you remove stigma discrimination, being taught hate. When you remove all those things and people are in a position to feel safe to show up how they
But how do
want
you
to
remove all
present,
those things?
that's the conversation we need to be having. That's the
Okay.
conversation that I'm pushing. Like we need to
But
be
there's only
having
one
that.
way to
And
remove
it's
all those
okay
things.
if you want biological women to have a restroom, it's fine. But don't put me in a position where a situation to where I feel unsafe, to where I don't have a fucking restroom to go to at all. Give me a restroom.
And you
I'm
and look,
not going
you have look,
to.
but that's just it. You have a restroom. I have a restroom. All the ladies on this panel have a restroom. The women's restroom. All you have to do is go in there as the women we are.
Lord forgive, we got on one of them sundresses and we don't want to put that thing up.
I
Or you
mean,
got somebody in the restroom that just wants to know for their own
I
purposes
mean,
and for their own
and if you
safety. What's going on? Just give us a
and if you
restroom.
and if you going in there on your woman, bitch, and if somebody question you, bitch, cuss them out. Who the fuck you think you talking to? Are you a man, bitch? I don't have no right to question me about what I am, just like I have right. So if you question me, I can question you. Are you
It's
a man?
still an unsafe situation.
It's an
Because
unsafe
who know
situation, but those
who's
situations are
able
going to
to
happen less.
determine where it goes there? Because who knows if when you walk out the restaurant for cussing her out, that she ain't got 15 niggas in the car waiting on you to walk out the door and using it as an opportunity to beat you down and hate on you what they was gonna do all
But
along.
that could have happened to you walking into a store. That could have happened to you walking into the
That's what
mall.
I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying, and it has nothing to
This
do
what I'm talking about are
with a
women's
penis
specific
shrimp.
spaces. That's what I'm talking about right now. Not just because that can what you just said can
They
happen
said
to
no
you
one should
walking
ever do
anywhere.
that. That's discrimination.
But it happens. That
They said,
happens.
hold on. The person said, I love the lady in green. That's Polka. She said, I love her. That's so valid, though. Lady in green.
We both got on
No,
green. That's
yeah.
what I mean, Miko.
Wait, who else got? Who else
Who
got
has on
green?
green? You
Oh,
got
I
on
don't know.
green, bitch.
I can't see. You know.
You the only one with green. Girl, she
Oh,
said, no,
okay.
yeah. Taking into account of society, I respectfully think it's important to tuck or at least wear something where your untuck is invisible.
Yeah,
I'm
I
reading this
mean,
right. I'm reading
I'm
this
not
right.
disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing to with what you're saying about that because I also believe like it's a level way you respect, but I think that we're going out of our way to make people comfortable in spaces that they never wanted us to be in. It ain't got nothing to do with what's between our legs. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
So,
but that's how you ease. That's first of all. Okay, remember. Okay, this is. Let me make this analogy real quick before you jump in.
okay.
Remember how our mindset was we was gonna go down to City Hall, all respectable and looking a certain way, looking like trans women and trans men that were going looking like them, so that we could showing them we no different than y'all. Where people go sit in front, talk to them, change their mind. We thought we was gonna do that, and we get down there, and it looked like what I referred to and got in trouble for referring to it is that it looked like a freak show. It's to me you have this is how I think. You have to meet people where they are. Maybe they wouldn't want us in their restroom, but if they see you as a woman and they see you coming in this restroom every day, whether they think you're an ugly woman, pretty woman, whatever they think about you, if they see you just a woman minding your business going in there every day and they get used to and accustomed to it, they start, and then when they find out you're trans, they completely dumbfounded because they think, oh, well, I didn't know that was, I thought it was a woman. They have a different perspective on how we are or who we are, or what they thought we were when they get to see us in real life, just being real people. When we go above and beyond trying to put on display what we were, like they did at the Capitol when they went down there with in their wild gear and their fishnets and men and with beards wearing sundresses and all that kind of shit. You can't. People who already don't want to talk to you are not going to talk to you when you're going all the way out of the go. They're only going to want to talk to you when you meet them where they are. That's why we went down there respectable, trying to look like
I have
people
tried.
copy it. And so to me, that's how I feel about it. When you go into women's restrooms, if you like I said, you don't even have to be in your best fish, but as long as you ain't got no dick hanging out, you know what I'm saying? If you
I
just
have
going
Real
tried.
quick, hold on, real quick. This girl right here, the Antonia girl, we all know her. This is the girl that came with Stacy to your house for the thing? Because she was letting it be known. She was like, I know some of y'all. I met some of y'all somewhere up in here. She was saying it. She was like, tell us. Oh yeah, right here. She's like, I'm an ally or whatever. This is the girl that was at your house though. You remember her?
Hmm.
Yeah, that was her. That's her in the comments. I think
And
isn't that who this is? And
and that
we was having
and
a
you know
deep
what?
conversation with her that night.
And those are good. She's a good kind of ally to have. But even as a female, you understand that not all females feel like you about that and still want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It I all I'm saying is again because and I feel this way again because maybe it was the way I was raised and because I have so many females in my family that I love and look after and know how this I know how a lot of our transgender community has become where it's not so much based off of gender dysphoria, but a lot of it is now based off of a trend and based off of a look and based off of part-time and I can get up in it and do this and and come back to it when I feel like it. A lot of it has become that and performative. And so because I know this, I am even weary about girls playing them games in restrooms when it comes to my family, my women, the women in my family being around. And that's just what plays in the back of my mind. It may not happen to all of y'all, but it happens to me. And therefore, I have a profound respect for my mother and my sister and my niece and my grandmother. And I have a profound respect for females because of them and because they've tried to open up and be more respectful around me. Even we get undressed around each other. We get, you know what I'm saying? But even then, I still don't take, they still never see that. And that's because, again, I respect what they have. And me
So I'm not,
asking,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just bringing up a point to that where it becomes overwhelming, going out of your way to make everybody comfortable to where you're no longer comfortable. All these is rules and ways that we as trans people to show up in spaces and to be accepted in spaces and all that. Don't nobody else go through that but us.
Yeah.
We have to wear this mask or put certain type of hair on that looks as appealing. When do we get out of that stage to where we are able to just show up as ourselves and just be respected as, first of all, humans?
when we have the government, when we have the religion, and when we have the numbers.
Well, we got to first stop justifying hate
We
and
that's not
calling it something else and
I don't
calling it
understand
other safe space.
I don't understand how respects for one's privacy and private parts is considered hate. I don't think that I'm preaching that trans women who have dicks, because I am one of them, are wrong for who they are or wrong for their bodies. I don't think that trans women who have dicks are wrong for going into the women's restroom because women is how we live. I don't think we're wrong for going into women's locker rooms because women is how we live. However, I do understand that women is how we live. And because women is how we live, then we should respect what women are. We should respect what
So
female
what?
spaces
So
are.
where is the manual? Where's the manual of the way a woman should show up? Because when I walk, if I'm uncomfortable with looking at vagina, I watch women walk around all the time where they show, what do you call it? The prints.
The camel toe.
Yeah, the camel toe. And it could be traumatizing or uncomfortable for me. Now the difference is they not come into spaces that's designed for us. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's one difference, but
See, we go into
it's
spaces that are designed for
tiring.
camel
It's
toes.
tiring to wear this mask to please everybody else for them only to decide if they're gonna accept us or not. This shit get tiring. We have to do, for instance, I'm in my own home. My rent, if y'all know my rent is not cheap.
Mhm.
But one of my babies decided to have his group of friends over. So here I am, so that I'm in protective mode of them not being harassed or being bothered and everything. Here I am being overly feminine so that I don't get my set clocked and no one looks or look everything. But again, they walking and eating my food, dirtying up my house. I don't allow them into my space, but I'm going above and beyond to make sure that they're comfortable. And that's fucking overwhelming because now I'm going so much. I'm going so deep into making sure they're uncomfortable. Now I'm
If they're
uncomfortable.
comfortable, if they're comfortable. So now you're
Now I'm
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. Now my voice is hurting because I'm talking like this the whole time. Like, hello, that shit is uncomfortable for me. Why is it not okay for me to tell you who I
I'll
am?
just get off of
If
this.
if it should be
Bye,
respected,
girl.
why is it okay for me? She ain't been on that other show, so it's okay that she removed herself.
Shut up. Shut
So
up.
why is it okay for you to be comfortable, but not okay for me to show up and you respect me for a person first, even when it's a space designed for me?
I don't think that, I think that as a mother, first of all, having your friends come into, having his little friends come to that space, I think that you did a bunch of unnecessary stuff to try and make them comfortable in the first place. I don't think that lightening your voice or doing all that, because you don't have no just extra masculine voice and you sound like a mother.
It was just an example, but I'm talking about the
But what
things
I'm saying is,
that
even if they
people
came
period
over,
get into any
even
space.
even if you didn't bother to, even if you didn't bother to put a wig on, if you didn't bother to wash your ass, you threw on a moo or whatever, seeing as how youngsters is around, you still wouldn't want to be flopping. So, you'd still want to at least cover that
I
up.
understand that part, but I'm saying it's a bigger picture. It has nothing to do. If we talk about respect, it's respecting you as a whole person, knowing that being a trans person, that part comes with it. If I have respect for you as a trans
Well,
person.
and you know
Now,
what?
now,
And I
now,
can
now,
have
for
respect.
someone to walk up in there with everything just hanging and like, can you get up out of here while I'm doing this? You're doing too much. I don't care what you're doing. Wait. For a person to come in there, if they're intentional, intentionally walking around, having they step outside of their pants and they going into a space, that's a level of disrespect. And that's not taking in consideration the other people around or flaunting
Or
around you.
wearing tight pants and got it running down their leg.
Yeah, but people wear tight pants all the time. You
I'm
police
talking
what
about,
people wear.
you hear what I said? I said wear tight pants and have it running down their leg.
Is it covered? Because people wear tight panties and tight clothes, and sometimes their ass ain't got a. We're not policing that.
Yeah, but
Wish I
you
was
also ain't walking out no
policing.
girl with no tights with no dick running down the side of her thigh either.
Y'all are so graphic.
This
This show
is
ain't gonna get monetized.
I look, we've come towards the end of the show. And first of all, let me say, I appreciate all of you who are in the audience who stuck around and listened to this and participated and shared your thoughts, because we really need this. And we really
Yes.
need cis people like yourselves, other trans people, trans men, cis men. We need people to come in and listen, because these are the kind of conversations we're having for y'all. We want y'all
Let's
to know
join that
how
talk.
we all think differently, how we're all not the same, how we all have different perspectives on this. And I appreciate you all sitting and listening to us and sitting this 2 hours with us. My final thought is, I don't care what you do with your life. I don't care how you present your life. But you need to understand that we live in a society that's been structured for hundreds of years now. And coming along, being somebody new and being open and wild is not going to knock that 200, 300 and 400 year system over in a day. I get that we should be fighting for certain things, but as long as there are certain systems in place all around the world, and that includes religion and governments, that tell us, that tell their communities, that tell the systems over which they govern that something is wrong with being trans, we will always be at the bottom of the totem pole, and therefore we will never be able to kick anybody's door down. What we need to do is, instead of trying to fight by ourselves, is try to actually change minds. And the only way you can change minds, in my opinion, is meeting people where they are, and showing up so that they can understand and be comfortable enough talking to you so that they can understand who you are and why you are and what kind of people you came from. If you don't never show up with that in a way that they can feel comfortable, they'll never try to feel comfortable. They'll never try to get to know anything about you. They'll never want to know anything about you. And that's just how I feel about it.
So my final thought is, as much as I appreciate each of you for being here, especially you cis folks, I am no longer willing to go out of my way to make you so comfortable that I'm making myself uncomfortable. I apologize, and but I'm just not willing to do it. And after and being in this world, feeling like I'm in a fight by myself, and allyship is not even a real thing. I'm not willing to be uncomfortable for any of you in my conversations. When I do take up spaces on platforms like this, will always be uplifting my trans community and talking about the ways we can strategizing about the ways we can move forward as a community, and also navigate through society to where we are safe. I'm not wasting time on y'all no more. Y'all don't want us in these spaces. It's clear it has nothing to do with penises. It has everything to do with transphobia, and making sure that we continue to know that our existence make you uncomfortable, period. And I'm not gonna side with you on that, although I respect your safety and I respect your gender, your identity, well, who you are as a cis woman. I'm not willing to take myself down just to uplift you. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm sorry. But thank you for watching the show.
And my final thought would be, thank you, Island Browning, for joining and being a part of the show every week. Every week, we do appreciate your thoughts. My final thought would be, if you don't got room for me and my new chompers, then bitch, be out of here.
Ah,
Bye,
good
y'all.
night. Bye, y'all.